okay, let me just give a scenario that comes to mind. If you just humor me for a moment. You can sell this to a school district, like I said earlier, where they can have their staff photographed, they can photograph themselves for the purpose of a district ID, meaning custodial services, land maintenance services, etc. The entire district admin team and everybody can be photographed in a system that the district would be able to control. It also means that with that control, they have the ability to communicate with them on a blast, just like you would at a school site, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
It also
Absolutely.
means that if they looked into the other components, for instance, I think there's a visitor management that was being built. It was built out a while ago. It means that the school district would actually know where personnel was, because they would be able to check into the visitor system, and you know what school they were at just by looking them up at the district, on the district system. Is that it? Is my scenario going correct in my head?
Districts should be really excited about what we're building, because the more schools get on it within that district, the more information can roll up to the district level. I mean, for example, average daily attendance, just keeping track of the number of kids that are in the school, that becomes a live thing. It's not something you sample in the fall, check in the spring, and then assign budgets to. It's just a live heartbeat of today, now,
Wow.
how many kids are in the school, or where are the substitute teachers, or whatever. I mean, the more information flows up to the district, the more powerful the system is.
Thank you.
Right. And not to go sideways on you, but particularly on the East Coast, a software program like this would have to be decided by purchasing at the district level. You would sell it to the entire district. I don't see a principal
making a decision based on a building level.
unless it was a private school or a
Charter school.
But on a side note, the district level and district office is going to have to figure out how they're going to handle contact tracing when they have a meeting. You know, I mean, oftentimes they have meetings with principals and meetings with different departments, and they're all coming from different schools for a centralized meeting location. So they're going to have to figure out how they're going to keep who was in the room at the time, basically.
So at the end of the day,
maybe it's more East Coast driven, because I know on the West Coast there's not as many district-wide decisions. But just for the independent photographers who are out there watching this, my recommendation would be that you start at the district office to sell this as a program they might want to use.
We've heard what
you could sell to 10 schools or 15 or 50 schools, or you could sell to one. Go to
responding
the 50.
to in previous years, the ID was just something that was handled by the photographer, who usually ate it in exchange for getting the photography contract. And that was a deal that was cut between the principal and the photographer at the school level. So I agree that visitor tracking, student tracking, and moving up through the different things, yeah, in all likelihood, those would be district level decisions. But historically, which photographer and therefore which ID was probably left in the principal's hands. 4 out of 5, I think you're absolutely correct. It's a district class call. But this is why we're starting so aggressively with ID Essentials, that the people that we know, the studios who reach out and know principals, how many of them know districts? They all know decision makers at schools, and they can all say, this is the best thing ever. And the principal
I was talking to a principal today, what we were doing, and she said, hey, I will get you a hold of the correct person in the district office.
Right.
If you don't know anybody at the district office, you are nobody, unless you get a introduction from somebody who's known in the office.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
an easy sell.
Exactly, but just, you know, again, as a recommendation, you could call, I would recommend purchasing or business
Technology.
and say or technology, we work with, you know, Barksdale Elementary School, and I'm reaching out to you today to talk to you about a program we're offering, blah, blah, blah. But you're absolutely right. You could start with your contact and then have them make the recommendation. It just depends on how aggressive you want to be. Because I see this as a tremendous tool to get yourself in front of a district decision maker, and then perhaps get the entire district.
I would agree with you.
Well, maybe you're not the photographer for the entire district, but you're going to provide the services, and now everybody in the districts knows you're the provider for this service. We have it as High5.ID, but but every teammate and every photographer is labeled and scanned and promoted on the screens. So Barksdale Photography is going to be on every screen in that district when they're using it every day. I don't know how much better advertisement you're going to get than that. And plus, you've given them free this entrance screening. So now you're a hero. I mean, you should get the cape on there. You should fly through the sky. I mean, you're going to look good.
You got to reel him back in. Reel him back in.
I have a question. You just said something, Marty, and I need you to clarify because I'm not getting it. Maybe you guys are going to cover this, but what do you mean a teammate? How you just mentioned that, and I'm kind of curious what you mean and how you become a teammate.
You know, a lot of us are board members. We work the SPAC people. I think it's like 600 studios that are part of SPAC. We've invited them to be able to utilize this, to offer it to their schools, to become a teammate. They can buy it at a wholesale level. In theory, you sell it to the school and make some money at it, but a lot of our school photographers hate getting money from schools. They think it's impossible. And so they say, well, how much money is it going to cost me? If that school can't keep open because they've got COVID in because they didn't screen properly, it's costing them millions of bucks. They can't come up with a few bucks to help you out with an entrance screening program, a communications program, a remote ID program. That just makes us bad photographers or bad salespeople. Now, I said teammates. Any of the photographer studios can be a teammate for a while until I get too many. But we also have team managers. So some of the photo labs, I know ACI, is not Studio Source. What's Mike's business, Mike?
Studio Source.
Is it? Okay, they have Studio Source. And we're getting more team managers. So your photo lab might be a team manager, and they may be able to support you directly.
This might even fall under the CARES money that the school districts are getting from the federal government to help with some of the COVID-related costs.
Now, was that approved, Corey?
Yes, it was, because some school districts are already spending their CARES money. And there might be coming more. So they gave them, I guess, an initial onset of money. I don't know how far it went.
Are you sure that, is that federal or state?
Federal.
That's Fed level.
But they're looking to increase it because now they realize that they're talking about thermometers and masks and all these other things that the school's going to need.
Right.
I was talking to Bill Aronofsky, and the East Coast, which is, you know, probably in the Philly area also, they're talking about temperature taking machines where there's a little walkway where the student walks through there, pops their head, takes their temperature. It's about $4,000. Start doing the math. You want 20,000 machines at $4,000 each, and that's great. Someone's got to, who's paying for it, how are they getting them there, and then how are they keeping the records of who's in and who's out? So we're giving them that piece of the IPI, in-person instruction accessibility. So we're part of the solution that they don't know how to fix the problem yet. So we're hoping that teammates will come on, learn how we're fixing the solution, and we're being solution providers for the school. We're helping them stay COVID clear, and we're helping them stay open.